What is going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Mike Roach podcast. And breaking news, this is actually from yesterday. I'm sure we've all heard by now. Chris Boucher, Sham Sharani announced that free agent forward Chris Boucher has agreed to a 1 year, $3.3 million contract with the Boston Celtics. So, that's big news there for Chris Boucher. Damn it. I'm going to drop a bomb for him there. And for the most part, a lot of us are not really surprised about this. Free agency has been well underway for over a month now. And, we did know Chris Boucher wanted to return to the Toronto Raptors. Unfortunately, it just wasn't in the cards right now. And I mentioned before that his contract and at least what he was making over the past last 3 seasons, he was in a tough bracket in regards to his money. You're going to be seeing less and less of those contracts at 12, $13 million range, $11 million range, because so many teams are maxed out with the guys that they have at the top that it's going to be a lot of the minimums at the bottom. And so that's just the way that it is right now. And, that's how the cookie crumbled. But at least he got his opportunity over there to play with the Boston Celtics. It's actually bittersweet because I didn't like the way that Chris Boucher was handled last season. And so for him to be able to go over and play with a team like the Boston Celtics, who are a big time team, I don't know what they're going to be like this season with some of the main guys that they had are no longer there. And so it's going to be a different looking season for the Boston Celtics, but he's going to be able to get minutes. He's going to be able to prove himself once again. He's going to be able to play. So at least that's a good thing. And I'm happy about that. Now, Chris Boucher was the last remaining championship piece that we actually had on this roster. And so I'm really sad to see him go for multiple different reasons, because I mentioned this many times. It's much bigger than basketball here, folks. And you already know, you've seen me over the years with Chris Boucher do a bunch of shows and podcasts and stuff like that. And it's always been about so much more than just basketball. His story alone coming out of Montreal, only really starting to play serious basketball close to the age of 20, being homeless, being a dishwasher to an NBA champion. His story is incredible. And if you haven't already seen his documentary, Grind Now, Shine Later, I suggest, ladies and gentlemen, you head to Crave and go take a look and a watch at Chris Boucher's documentary, because that to me, this is about a guy who he really became something out of nothing, and he did it in a relatively short time frame. He had to grind and bust his ass to get to where he was, but to be able to do what he did at the age that he did it is absolutely incredible. And so, there's absolutely nothing to take away from this guy. Now, it's the one thing that it's not one thing, but there's many things. But about Chris Boucher, coachable, the fans loved him. He was a fan favorite. You've never heard that he was a bad teammate, high energy guy, gave you everything off the bench. When you look at his stats off the bench, he leads in a whole bunch of statistical categories. And I'm reading here. First off the bench in points, rebounds, blocks, threes. Like Chris Boucher just pretty much he's like a modern day JYD, pretty much. And so that's why so many people in the city wanted to keep a guy like Chris Boucher. I've said it before, you've never heard that he's a bad teammate, ever. That's never, ever come about. He's always been professional, always been accountable. So it is sad to see a guy like him go, because to me, every team can use a guy like Chris Boucher. And I hope that this doesn't come back to haunt the Raptors in any type of way, because like I mentioned, to have a guy like Chris Boucher who's willing to work hard all the time. I don't give a damn what the results are. He's willing to work hard every single game. And because of that, for the large majority, the results are good. And so it's sad to see Chris go, but I'm glad he's getting an opportunity somewhere else. And I'm going to be looking forward to see how he plays in a Boston Celtics uniform. I'll be keeping my eye on that team, and I'll be watching them throughout the season, specifically just because he is on that team. And so, you know, it's a brand new, complete roster. No more pieces left. No more championship pieces left on the roster. And we're going to see what happens when we get into this new season with the Toronto Raptors. So, congratulations to Chris Boucher inking that $3.3 million deal with the Boston Celtics. Do wish it was with the Raptors, but at the end of the day, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? He'll be missed on and off the court, like I mentioned. And just everything. When you see Chris with the fans at the games I'm at all the games, but I'm sure a lot of the people, if you're watching and you see Chris at these games, man, he loves going up into the stands and shaking hands with people and taking pictures. And he was the Raptor who was most willing to do it without hesitation. And I loved seeing that for him. Never took the game for granted, life for granted, soaking up all these moments that he has right now while he can. Because at some point it runs out, people. It runs out at some point. But I love to see him taking everything in and living in the moment with this NBA career that he has. So, I mean, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. You just got to be happy for him and that he's getting a chance somewhere else. And pretty much you just got to move on. So, I mean, congrats once again to Chris Boucher. This is going to just be a short podcast. This is just all about him. And folks, it's your boy Mike Roach. I'll be back again soon. Peace. I'm out.